Oh yes, the bat has returned. And welcome to another episode of Tyler's Weekly Rundown. I am your host, Tyler Gallagher. I don't believe the commissioner will be joining us this week. He injured himself tragically, masturbating to his own roster. You hate to see it, but alas, we must continue without our fearless leader. Alright, speaking of, our Woo Award this week goes to none other than Red Zone Ronayne, dropping 157.94 points and causing a horrific rosterbation and accident in the process. Next up, it's going to Ayahuasca. Ayahuasca Healing dropping only 94.82 points. Next up, the slide continues. New York Football Gordons, you got robbed. 149.7 points and not able to pull out the victory. Next up, our laugher of the week is going to Game Plan McMahon, taking out Wizards of Loneliness by 42.82 points. Our nail biter of the week, Taints over Ayahuasca by a measly 3.98 points. Speaking of Ayahuasca, what were you thinking? Gaffney left Mr. Geno Smith on the bench, who dropped 31 points while Dak was getting hurt. After getting the what were you thinking for benching Dak last week, Gaffney gets it for starting him. Alright, our bonus stats of the week. First one, is Ayahuasca Healing the new Game Plan McMahon? In 2 straight nail biters, Ayahuasca Healing has picked up 2 straight losses. In rather tragic fashion, I'd say. Next up, Red Zone Ronayne, picking up their 4th Woo Award. That leads the league. No one else has more than 2. And finally, the slide continues. New York Football Gordons dropping their 3rd straight after opening on a 6-game winning streak. When will it stop? When will it end? Alright, and we got a little extra time without the commissioner sit down this week, so I decided to do a little something special for y'all. I'm going to do a full preview of Week 10. Not just your matchup of the week, though we will get to that. But yeah, let's talk about the whole league for a change. First up, we got Jemima Redux against Game Plan McMahon. This is the game. We're just playing for pride at this point. Last place team in cheese, last place team in pickle. I've been high on Game Plan McMahon's talent all this year. We've talked before about how this has really been one of the most unlucky fantasy seasons I've ever seen. And particularly with the Zach Moss injury, I have a feeling Chase Brown's about to be one of the top scorers in the league for the last few weeks. So I got to take Game Plan McMahon over Jemima in this game. Next up, Taints versus the New York Football Gordons. As I said earlier, Gordons on a 3-game losing streak. They really need this win in a competitive Cheese South division. Taints has won 3 of their last 4. And Gordons will be missing Kenneth Walker III on a bye week. But I gotta take the Gordons here. This could change before game time, but I noticed Taints is starting both of the Steelers running backs, and it's hard to pick a team that's doing that. So I'm taking Gordons to stop the skid, maintain their foothold at the top of Cheese South. Next up, Wizards of Loneliness versus Red Zone Ronaine. This was actually in close competition for matchup of the week. Tons of star power in this game. Potentially Christian McCaffrey's first game of the season. Big storylines here. Wizards is only one game back of New York Football Gordons and Linguini with Muscles for top record in Cheese South. And I really think the quality of the team matches the quality of those teams. So I am going to be taking Wizards over Red Zone Ronaine. Having a Sun God, Jet, and C-Mac on one team, it's pretty crazy. And I do think they're going to join the Cheese South Elite this week. Alright, next up we have Ayahuasca Healing versus the Gasps. Ayahuasca Healing's been a pretty volatile squad this year, other than Joe Mixon, who's been great. Both these teams have had a couple injuries recently, but I think I'm gonna have to go with Gasps in this game. I think the difference here is going to be Purdy getting C-Mac back, balancing that offense a little bit more. I don't want to talk about this one. Birds of War versus Bed Bath and Bijan. I gotta be honest, I don't think... maybe this is too mean, but I don't think Bed Bath and Bijan is a very good team. I just think that Birds of War is worse, unfortunately. I have the namesake of Bed Bath & Bijan putting up 35 points and really putting the nails in the coffin of the Birds of War season. Alright, here we go. Your matchup of the week. It's got to be Wayne's fantasy football team versus Linguini with Muscles. Two of the teams of the Borger Cafe season this year. Wayne recently took over with having the best record in Borger Cafe, but his team is in bye week / injury hell right now. Linguini is also potentially getting Nico Collins back this week, which could really change the complexion of this game. I firmly believe that good teams are going to grind out wins no matter what the circumstances are. And I do think Wayne's fantasy football team is a great team. But I think the James Cook, Derrick Henry combo is going to be too much. So I got to take Linguini over Wayne's fantasy football team. It's going to be a good week in Borger Cafe. All right. I'll see you guys next week. Maybe you'll see the bat again. Goodbye.
Once again, MJ Fox. Fox in the Hen House. Big week this week for a lot of reasons. We're not going to talk about them because this is our little means of escape and a lot of fun, and love hanging out with you guys and just having Borger every week when the rest of the world seems to be going to shit. So it's going to be the last installment this year. It's going to be kind of brief. First up, we're going to look at I just want to note that Ayahuasca has for years struggled with injuries, and they are healthy right now. They're a very good-looking team, and I'm currently getting my ass kicked by them. I was looking through just like who's got what in terms of like assets going on, and they're just one of the healthiest teams I'm seeing right now. Might be a dark horse. Calling it now. Might be a dark horse for Burger Bowl. Anyway, what I saw this week was that RCR, they've got a glut of wide receivers. One that I'm most interested in is Ridley. I think Ridley's got a pretty weak schedule in terms of opponents coming up. He's got Minnesota, Houston, and Jacksonville. So you may want to, hit up RCR with probably a running back. Maybe not a 2, but a flex running back because he's a little weak there, just to kind of round out his squad. Conversely, you've got the Wizards of loneliness. They've got, I won't call it a glut of running backs, but they got a lot of running backs. And Bucky, who they mentioned, Bucky Irving, is looking pretty good right now. I could actually see a 1-to-1 flip Ridley for Irving. I think it'd be a pretty good deal because Irving's got the Giants in Week 12. Sorry, guys. Carolina in Week 13 and then Vegas in Week 14. So that's what I'm seeing. Beyond that, I know that both the Gasps and the Gordons are in a bit of a slide right now. We both have pretty good receivers who are not going to be playing for the rest of the year. That's Diggs on the Gasps, and that's Ayuk for the Gordons. If you want to offer something like, again, strong flex receiver or running back, you might be able to get these guys, stick them on your IR for the rest of the year, and then you got them for a keeper next year. If you got the assets, if you can let go of some stuff and not suffer, I think that might be a good move. Lord knows I could use some help because, man, fucking sick man of pickle right now. Anyway, that's all I got for you. Stay safe out there. Enjoy the last half of the season. Cheers.